very good morning. As always, Wednesday the 12th of June 2019. Going to the bus stop because it's one of those weeks this week where I just cannot be bothered to walk. So as I often do, I watch the news in the morning. I listen to a bit of LBC on the way to work and from work. You know, I try and keep abreast of what's happening out there. And I can't help but notice that the BBC, yet again, are making a massive cock up. Is what they're doing. In their eyes, it's not a cock up. In their eyes, it's trying to save a few pennies. But for those of you who haven't heard, the BBC want to scrap the free TV license fee for over 75s. Now, what you got to remember is for you youngsters out there, all right, you youngsters, all right, you got to remember is the TV license. If you don't pay it and your mum and dad just pays it, it's not really cheap, you know. I mean, for the amount of TV you actually watch on the BBC, you might watch EastEnders. That's about it. You see, it's not cheap. I believe it works out to just over 120 or 130 pound a year. I wouldn't know because my missus pays our TV license, you see. But there's always been the case, if you're over 75, that was free. Because why should you carry on paying it? You've contributed to the system. You know, you've more than likely worked your whole life because you're of that age and era where you probably weren't a lazy bastard like much of today's society. You know, you've probably contributed all you can into getting your own pension, either your private pension or whether you're entitled to state pension. You pretty much made it to where you are quite successfully. And the only reward that you may feel that you're getting because the pension you're getting isn't enough is, at least I don't have to pay for my TV license. Well, I've got some bad news for you if you weren't aware. The BBC want to scrap that and they want to charge you the exact same amount of money as everyone else, which is shit. So, BBC, shame on you yet again. You know, BBC, shame on you for trying to pull the same crap as you always do. You know, it's silly things like, I keep pulling them up on it on Facebook and on here. It's when they do interviews in the morning and they say from our studio in Westminster, right, and then they'll say from our studio in New York or from our studio in Hong Kong. I'm almost positive it is the same sofa that they're all sitting on. They just changed the backdrop on the screen. You see, you're trying to kid me. You know, at least have, if you're gonna say you're in Westminster, make it look half believable. You know, Big Ben's covered in scaffolding. You could be anywhere in the country, live from Westminster, you know, from York. So, you know, it's just silly things like that. The BBC, who continuously, make up lies to put on the news, especially when they fund Panorama. And again, you know, I'm neutral on Tommy Robinson, but you watch Panodrama on YouTube and you'll see how much lies they spread about the bloke, you know. And he goes out of his way to expose them and the BBC for everything that they've said and done in regards to just him alone. And how many other people have they lied about? The BBC, for me personally, is not value for money. I can't understand how they want to try and save money from 75 plus year olds. You know, I mean, all these homes here, you know, all of these homes, how many homes do you think there are in the UK? I actually don't know. It's one of those things that I can't just pull out of my arsehole as information, you see. But I'm guessing there's quite a few. And if every household pays the TV license, all right, and then let's just say 1 in 5 of those households, a fifth of those households, have someone who is over 75, you see. That's still 4 in 5 households paying money. Now let's say out of all of those 4 in 5 households paying the TV license on a monthly basis, yeah, let's just say 1 in every 30 refuses to pay and they don't watch the BBC. Yeah, maths has gone out the window, but it's still a lot of money the BBC make. And how do they justify spending that money? They justify it on, you know, spending it on the likes of EastEnders and BBC News and Panorama. Again, things that I very seldom watch. I mean, I watch the news, but I'm more fluttered between BBC News and Sky News, if anything, just to make a broad comparison. I don't believe we should be paying for the shit that the BBC produces. I definitely don't think that the licence fee should be scrapped for over 75s. They should get it for free, and rightfully so too. And as far as I'm concerned, the BBC are just as corrupt and money grabbing as a Tory government, which is probably the reason why you clicked on this video today. Money grabbing bastards. Happy